He was over in France during the war, and somebody got permission for him to come home because his wife had cancer, and she had cervical cancer. She died at the age of 31, so they said she didn't have a lot of time left, 6 weeks or something. He came back and she died in 6 weeks. So, but look how pretty she is. Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. And she got this fancy, and this must be on the roof of a building, probably in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And she worked at a hotel. So this could be a hotel in Chicago, and then I don't know this skyline, but she got her gloves on, she's got a fancy little hat, and so let me go back here. So there was a lady who contacted me. There's a way people can email each other, and here she is with her husband here, and here's another one. And he was, for a while, he was stationed down in Pensacola, and so she was down there. And, and this is the obituary of her first husband, who they called Jake. And he was 28. And he was at the Naval Training Camp Hospital, where he passed away Sunday following a tonsillectomy. So, kind of a...
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have antibiotics in those days.
Didn't have penicillin either.
Yeah, so penicillin didn't come about till, they had it during World War II, but it was given to the soldiers. They didn't have a lot of it. So, she died in 1945. So here's her grave marker. Well, this woman contacted me. There's like an email thing. And she said, are you, the Umlaufs, related to Lavonne Amelia, or Amelia Lavonne McCarthy, or Umlauf McCarthy? I said, yeah. She was one of my husband's aunts, Charles's sister. And she said, well, they weren't married very long, but my father, she said, I am not a daughter of Lavonne. She said, but my father really loved her and kept all of her letters in his trunk. Oh. These are all his letters in the envelopes, handwritten by her, of course. And the envelopes, of course, they have dates. And cute little, and these are tissue paper, because that airmail in those days you used tissue paper. So here's like a poem, Song of the Rain. So he saved all these things, and she said he died in about 2010, her second husband who survived her. And she said, I was wanting to give these to a relative, an Umlauf relative. She said, can I send you these things? And I said, well, certain, but, shouldn't you keep some copies or something, or make copies and send me the copies? And here's a good picture of her. And so she said, well, I wanted to send them these, historical things here to an Umlauf. So, of course, I look at her and I say, well, now, who does she look like?
She has the chin of...
You think she has the chin like Charles has? Yeah. Here they are on the beach, her and her husband. And all these pictures of the two of them, he's looking at her. Yeah. She's looking at the camera, but all these pictures, he is looking at her. Yeah. Wow. Here's another picture. Wow. Very stylish little head wrap here.
Now, happy little couple here. He's a handsome guy.
Yeah, well, they weren't married that long, but now here is an interesting photograph of the time. She's somewhere. It could have been, I think they were in Pensacola. He was stationed there for a while. She's getting a drink of water at an outside water fountain, and the sign above her head says, "For white only."
Right, wow.
Yeah, so kind of a, a statement about those times. And here she is at some kind of amusement park or something. I don't know where this is. It could have been in Chicago. It says Strand, but I don't know. There's a Strand. Yeah, there's a Strand in Galveston, but I don't think they were in Galveston. The one in Galveston doesn't look like this. This could have been Chicago somewhere. And here she's got another fancy outfit with the 2 colored shoes and her little hat and a little handkerchief in her jacket. So she was pretty stylish. And she worked at a hotel, from what I can tell. And here she is with a gown, which is typical of the 40s. And she's having her picture taken there. So there's a fair number of pictures, you know. And oh, and here she is combing her hair. So this is sort of you get the back of her head, then you get the front of her head where you see her. It's that same dress. And the photographs look alike because they're the same size and they have these interesting cutouts in the paper. And here she is wearing that same outfit in the same location. I kept thinking it was a train, but it's not. Must have been a barracks or something. So I don't know where that is. And there's some bigger versions of these. Here's her husband, McCarthy. Honey, at least I was out of the doghouse long enough to have this picture taken. Chuck. So, the beefy guy there. Yeah. So, here it says, this is the Hollywood in Chicago. So it must have been a restaurant, bar, some kind of place. And he's looking at her again, see?
Yeah,
you see that?
No, he's smitten.
She's looking somewhere, but he's looking at her.
Well, they were newlyweds, so they got married right when he was going overseas.
Well, I'll have to look it up, Arthur. I'll have to look it up. So I don't know where this is. It says, my little angel, I have watched every day for mail from you, but now I know you must be on your way to a foreign country. Wherever it is, you know you have my true love, and I shall just be awaiting the day this mess is all over and you return to me. I'll cook all the good things you like, and as much as I dislike big breakfast, you can have steak and fried potatoes every morning with lots of cold beer in the icebox. Do you think you will enjoy it? I shall not write any little personal notes in my letters, for they must go through the censor's office. I had dinner at Judy's house this evening, and after played a card game of Squeal with her mother and dad. Tomorrow night I am going swimming with Irene and Polly Dalton at the Medina Club. I received 2 long letters from Bud, which was her brother, remember Bud, and will answer them as soon as I finish this letter to my angel. Sweetheart, write and tell me all about the trip. I'm so anxious to hear from you. All my love, your wife. And she gave him a little kiss on the paper. So all their little letters and things are sweet. No, I mean, the thing is, you might not see them ever again, you know. I mean, you don't know where they are because they can't tell you. They could be in a really, really difficult place. But it gives the address. We could look it up on Google Earth. It's probably not like that anymore. But this was July 1943. June 8th, 1943. This is when she was sick. May 1943. May 6th, 1943. March 18th, 1943. Here's from, she's got stationery from the Drake Hotel. I think that might have been where she worked. And see, it's listed as the public writing room. Hotels used to have stationery in the hotel rooms or whatever, so you could write people. They'd have postcards too. Yeah. Buy savings bonds and stamp. Yeah, it's a bomber. The stamp is a bomber. So maybe these are already in order. Okay, these are telegraph messages. This is for using Western Union. You know, they did stuff with the I'm blank now, with the dots and the dashes.
Morse code.
Morse code, yes. Well, the Morse code could transfer this into letters, and it comes out on this little thin paper. And so they would take this paper and cut it up and glue it on this paper, and that would be your telegraph message. And then somebody would deliver it to you.
Wow.
So they'd knock on the door and they'd say, Western Union, you know, telegraph. And so you were charged by the letter or space or whatever. And so this is a Western Union one. Here's one, I guess through
Post office?
well, yeah, maybe this is something through the military, I don't know. All America Cables, Canadian Pacific Telegraphs, commercial cables. So this is sent to Cleveland, Ohio from Chuck McCarthy, and he gives his local address. Heartfelt congratulations, may you find constant happiness in one another. Oh, this is from his mother and father to him. Must have been with his wedding, regarding his wedding. So, but this is what a telegraph message looked like when you would get one at your house. So these were official kind of things, you know. Because it was the fastest way to send a message. So here he was saying he's leaving Sunday morning for school. Is it possible for you to be off duty? So, officer school at Fort Knox. So he had to go through Chicago to get to Fort Knox.
Wow.
And he signed it. Oh, this is to her. He signed it, Daddy.
Oh.
To her. So, but it's interesting to see these because people don't understand what a telegraph message was. You know, they didn't just call you or something. This was the official thing. But people would get like official notices of people dying and stuff like that. You know, it would be delivered as a telegraph. A telegraph message. So when the here she's writing from Pensacola. So you remember when the bar in the hotel closed at 10:30 and we went up to our room and had the bottle of champagne that you had cooled in the bathtub while I was working. And on my day off, I took you out to the naval station on the big boat. We have the pictures right here that we took the same day. Let us hope and pray. This is in the last one apart for us. How come this girlfriend stuff with Charlie McCarthy? Well, Charlie McCarthy was he was a puppet that this man did. So he's talking about Charles McCarthy it's a joke on his name. Do you remember her when she appeared at the Amelia house 1,000 years ago? All my love, little angel, your Bonnie. And she put another little kiss. And there's a kiss on the letter. And sometimes you could smell their perfume on the letters. They would perfume their letters, or the lipstick may have a scent. It's a big thing to get mail in those days. This is that one about the poem or something. So. And here's some postcards. Here's one from the Black Hawk Indian Room, Randolph at Wabash Street. Here's their phone number, RAN 2822 in Chicago. So it's a postcard from the Black Hawk Room. So she sent it to Charles McCarthy. And here is a picture of the Midwest Hiawatha popular steamliner in the Milwaukee Road. Here's one from Mick. Hi, soldier. I went to work for this something on Sunday. Nice horns and my interesting. Well, write a day or two. Write every day or two. Mick? I don't know.
Your brother.
Maybe. This is when he was a private, so that was earlier on. The streamlined Midwest Hiawatha between Chicago and Rockford, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, Des Moines, Sioux City, Sioux Falls, and Omaha. It is strikingly handsome. It is superbly comfortable, silent and smooth riding, free from sway and vibration. Every car is air conditioned. No extra fare for air conditioning. Isn't that darling?
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
yeah.